Delores, the pastor's daughter, and we are back with another video. What's going on, you guys? Yes, honey, we are back, honey. It is so good to be here, to be before you all on this evening. It's Thursday, August the 3rd. It is 10:30 Central Time, okay, y'all? I'm in Alabama, okay? It is 10:30 p.m. And no matter how hard I try, you guys, I keep doing these late streams, okay? Well, I guess it's not late, but it's just late. It's just one late, not two lates, okay? It's just one late. But let me give you all just a minute to get on in here. Yeah, come on in here so we can chat. We have been watching Princella the Queen Maker's video about the birth of the black, is it the black male psychosis? Or the male, yeah, the black male psychosis, right? So we're going to continue the conversation. We're going to spend a little more time together on this evening. I got a little more time I want to spend with y'all tonight, but let me just give y'all just a few minutes to get on in here. And as you come in, go ahead and give the video a thumbs up. Thank you so much. So what's up, y'all? What's up? 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 What's going on with y'all? How is your week going so far? We are nearing the end of the week, and um, the week started rough for me. You guys know I had acute conjunctivitis, also known as that old stank pink eye, y'all. I don't even know how on earth, y'all. I don't even know how on earth I got that. I told y'all before that when I was in the military back in 2010, I had corrective eye surgery. It wasn't LASIK, but it was similar to LASIK. It's called PRK. And first of all, the surgery was amazing. Okay, like I have perfect vision, still have perfect vision. But the trade-off was I have dry eye from on occasion, and sometimes it gets bad. Where I start to feel like a dry patch on my eye, and it feels gritty where it's hard to blink, and my eye like overcompensates for the dryness, so it waters a lot and all of that stuff, right? So when the symptoms first started, that's what I thought I had, and it may be that that was the case, and somehow through like probably wiping the tears and all of that stuff, I ended up getting an infection known as the pank eye. Okay, did y'all ever watch? Speaking of the pank, never mind. We're not gonna talk about that. Anyway, so yeah, so I ended up getting pink eye, and so the first part of the week was a bit rough for me, um, because I was trying to recover from that. As soon as the doctors opened, in fact, I was at the doctor's office Monday before they opened. Honey, I was sitting out in the parking lot, barely could see because my eyes were sensitive to light and to air. And so I'm sitting out there, y'all, just like, look, as soon as y'all open these doors, y'all will be the first one in here. I wasn't the first one, I was the second one because there was already a lady out there waiting. So I didn't want to, I didn't want to just cut her in line, because you know, like that wouldn't have been right. But I was the second one in there, child. Don't play with me. So now I feel better. I can still feel a little bit of puffiness there, a little bit of sensitivity, but it's so much better than it was. Y'all, look at God. Won't He do it? Won't He do it? Okay. So I have been trying to catch up on, just my own personal goals of what I wanted to accomplish this week. I wanted to finish the edits on the Narcissist Decoded Guidebook, which is coming out on Wednesday, my birthday. Hey, okay, okay. First of all, your girl is about to be 43. Okay, listen, I'm about to be 43, but do I look like it? No, I do not. Look at God when He do it. Okay, so so that book is coming out on Wednesday, August the 9th, which is my 43rd birthday, 2023. So anyway, that's what's going on with me. And y'all, you know what's crazy is that 2023 equals 7. I'm turning 43, which if you add those two up, it equals 7. And there's some other numbers that factor into this, this 7. Um, and so that's like my number this year. So what do y'all think it means? Like if you guys are like really into numbers and knowing what numbers mean, numerology and stuff like that, what do you suppose that means? I know it means something, right? Like 7 is a number of completion. It's a prime number. There's a few different meanings for it. But what do you suppose that means in relation to where I am in my life and what I'm doing as far as my purpose? Um, I'd be very interested in hearing your feedback on that. It's something that I've been thinking about this year at the beginning of the year. And coincidentally, my father turned 70 this year. And, he and I have had this beef, I guess you can say, we just like if I'm just put like street terms to it, okay? Like we got a beef, but really it's a spiritual battle really between us, because the way I describe it is his demons are bothered by my gift, right? His spirit of deception is bothered by my spirit of discernment, my gift of discernment. And that is where our major rift comes from. That's where it's always come from. And of course, I didn't know that until, I was well into this journey that I'm on right now of exposing the religious narcissist and spiritual abuse. And the narcissist that was in my life was my father. Of course, he's no longer in my life because I cut him off. Okay, honey, like cut, no access. Listen, you don't get access to me, honey. Okay, you just don't. He's been cut off since 2019. I have not spoken to him. Not interested. It ain't gonna happen. So he turned 70 this year, and I'm wondering if that even factors into this whole 7, this number is 7, this number of completion. Um, and I think that it does, but I'm interested to know what you all think. If you're into that, I love to hear your feedback. You can get in the comments, or, feel free to shoot me an email. Let me go ahead and put my email in the chat so that you all can, reach out to your girl. Write your girl, honey. Okay, I would love to hear from you. Okay, so my email is Delores and that's Delores at Kingdom. Let me see. I'm trying to type it as I speak. Kingdom Code CODE Academy. Kingdom Code Academy.com. Okay. KingdomCodeAcademy.com. And you guys, this is the Kingdom Code podcast. Okay, so as time progresses, we are going to be talking about what the Kingdom Code is and what it means to me. In short, it is a community of daughters everywhere. Daughters like myself, daughters like some of you, some of you who have daughters, some of you who love somebody's daughter. This is a place for you to really um, get all things daughter, all things related to being a daughter. You know, the plight of a daughter, the discernment of a daughter, the walk of a daughter, the implications, the responsibilities, all of the things that come with that responsibility, that title, that walk of life. And um, I think that we all have a unique path, and it doesn't really matter where we come from, what religion we subscribe to, what race we are, our background or anything, or what age we are. We are somebody's daughter, and that in and of itself has a unique viewpoint, perspective, and responsibility. And so on this channel, we talk about all things daughter. So it's only fitting that we do a review of Princella the Queenmaker. We are on review part 3. Y'all, we not dragging it out. We are just enjoying it, taking our time, digesting the information. Sometimes you got to take things a little bit slow, and really let it marinate, and have some discussion about it. I mean, how often do you really get a chance to listen to, if you already are a subscriber, follower of Princella the Queenmaker, how often do you really get a chance to talk to um, other daughters about the information that you have heard on her channel? Who do you really get to discuss that with, sound off with? You can definitely do that over here. I've already did a few reviews of a live that she did over on Sinetter's channel, and since that time, that video has been taken down, so we never did get to finish a review of that video. So I went ahead and started this one because I felt like this would be, a really good next step in discussing the information that Princella talks about over on her channel, which is the High Powered Podcast. And so the link is in the description box. So, I definitely encourage you all to go over there and subscribe. I think what a lot of us tend to do once we discover her is to binge watch her videos and get her books. I already have her 5 Components of Love book, um, the e-version, and I got the printed version of the 41 Shades of Men, 41 Shades of Men or 41 Shades of Male, something like that, 41 Shades. So I got that book. It's coming in the mail, should be here on Sunday. And so we are going to really get into it and really, have some real open and deep discussions about what we are reading and the message that we are getting and how it applies to our own lives. Okay, so I'm super excited, y'all. Like, this is the beginning of some great things that are to come for this channel and for women, daughters as a whole. You guys are really going to not hear me, you're not going to hear me say women and female that much, because my message is for daughters. And I think that that comes with its own distinction from what we see that is happening in the world, where it seems like our gender is being co-opted and really taken over. But I think it's a bit more difficult to take over the title, the responsibility, the implications of a daughter. That is something that comes with its own unique um, perspectives. And so that's what you'll hear me say more than anything over here on this channel. Okay, so look at God. Won't he do it? Won't she? Won't she do it? Okay, listen. Because let's just be real. Okay, let's just be real. Okay, so let's get into the video And where did we leave off, y'all? I don't even, I can't even remember where we left off, but Princella was just getting into a quote. And so we are going to start off with her reading a quote that she was looking up. So let's go ahead and get started.
Immanuel Kant, or Kant, what'd he say? Man must be disciplined, for he.
Hold on, y'all. Are y'all getting an echo? Because why is my sound coming out of my. Hold on, y'all. Let me make sure this ain't coming off as giving y'all echo. Because it seems like it would based on the fact that I have sound coming out of my computer speakers and coming through my headphones. Can y'all let me know if you're getting feedback? Can y'all let me know? Why is it so loud in my background? I think that's like my I have a mini split like right behind my head, and I think it's like really picking up the sound of the mini split like on like 1,000. So if you're getting why is it giving like it's giving like truck realness? Hey, listen. Anything over here on this? Okay, we are going. Hold on, y'all. Are y'all getting an echo? Because hold on.
Or what'd he say? Man must be disciplined.
Okay, it's not. Just it just seems like it would be though. And y'all let me know, like if you guys are really good with like this tech stuff, then maybe you could let me know what I need to do to minimize the background. I already have it on like this denoise setting, and maybe I could turn it down right here a little bit so that why is this? So that it'll reduce the background noise. Y'all let me know if it's bothersome, okay? And then I'll try to do some tweaking. Okay, so let's keep going.
He is by nature raw and wild.
This is low key irritating to me, guys.
Man must be disciplined, for he is by nature raw and wild. The same thing that I was telling you. Wait a minute.
Come on, y'all. Like this ain't right.
Immanuel Kant said that then? What did the research paper say? But
I won't even pause, y'all.
oh, hold on.
Why am I having a struggle like right now?
What did the first
Why is my why is my life a struggle at this moment, y'all? Like, come on. Hold on, y'all. So, okay, y'all. I had y'all know I got accepted to Lisa Nichols' transformational trainer um, program, and today I had a meeting the um, with the staff, with one of our staff members, and y'all, oh my gosh, it was a whole, it was a whole vibe. Y'all don't even understand. Like what? Like why is it acting like this? Yeah, somebody help me. I might be tech challenged. Like last week, my husband came in here and he was helping me to hook everything up. He's the tech person, okay? Like I'm just trying to figure it out. I'm definitely not the tech person. But so let me tell y'all about this meeting I had today. So this was kind of like, I guess, like your onboarding meeting. The actual class starts in January, and it's for a year. It's a year long program. Now, I don't have to, you know, I guess one thing that a lot of people don't know is that you don't actually have to have a certification to be a life coach, which is a little disturbing, I must admit. Okay. It's a little disturbing because what I've noticed is that there is a lot of people that, will put that, will go ahead and just position themselves as a life coach, call themselves life coaches, right? Because I guess because they're living, okay? Because they're doing life, right? Um, so you have to be really, really careful in this space because the the life coach is really, in my opinion, the new pastor, you know, and that is an unregulated field where people really, like I said, they could just call themselves a life coach and they end up getting access to you, access to your finances, your family. And sometimes people do not have the best intentions. You have a lot of narcissistic people in this space, and they will use your vulnerability, they'll use your situation to manipulate you, control you, exploit you, and all of those things. And so you have to be very, very careful. Um, I personally have a master's degree in clinical mental health counseling. I am a nationally certified counselor in retired status. And the reason I am in retired status is because I have health issues. I was medically retired from the Army back in 2014 because I have fibromyalgia. And after that time, I ended up developing lupus. Now, my lupus is not full blown, thank God. Look at God when you do it, okay? But the fibromyalgia does, give me a run for my money, you guys, from time to time. Um, I I like to think that I have it, you know, under control from, the way that, okay, there we go. The way that it used to be. It used to be very much out of control. But I think that I have it, a lot under control now. And so I'm able to do a little bit more as far as, giving more of myself to giving to you guys, right? Fulfilling my purpose, which is to really empower daughters with discernment and to help you heal from spiritual abuse, childhood trauma, and toxic relationships. And so I am not actually acting as a counselor in this moment. Like I said, I am in retired status as a counselor. However, I am opening up my time and space and energy to accept clients, coaching clients. So, if you are interested in coaching with your girl, Delores, the pastor's daughter, then reach out to me and let me know, my dears. Um, I'm definitely taking clients at the moment. But my point is that um, because I have a master's degree in clinical mental health counseling, and I'm a nationally certified counselor, I am um, more educated, equipped, and what else? Like certified, I guess, than the average life coach that's out there, right? So the average life coach doesn't really even have a life coaching certification. I have a clinical mental health degree. So I am already more educated, more experienced than probably 90% of life coaches that are out there. So when you work with me, you will know that I have the education, I have the certification, and I have the experience to really be able to pour into you and to make sure that you have the outcomes that you desire, to really thrive, thrive in your relationships, thrive in life, and to really live the life that you desire for yourself. So, I met with Lisa Nichols' team, and like I said, I don't need an additional certification to. Um, so I don't technically need Lisa Nichols' educational program. However, I am one of those that will pursue and pursue and pursue as much education. I am a lifelong learner. I am always looking for ways to be of service, to be of more service, to provide people that work with me with the absolute best holistic approaches to healing and to repairing and to living the life that you desire for yourself. So that is my motivation for wanting to be in that program. And I was accepted among hundreds of applicants to be in that program. And so, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, okay, okay, girl, you doing it. Do the doggone thing, okay? And so, I really say that to really highlight the fact that that is what you all should be looking for. You should be looking for someone who is also a lifelong learner, and someone who demonstrates that to you, someone who is transparent about their education, about their experiences, about how they can help and how they have helped, what they have contributed to other people in service, and how they have been able to help other people transform their lives. And that's what you'll get over here. You will get someone who is extremely transparent, maybe even a bit to a fault, but like, and okay, like, I think that's what this day and age is really calling for. Like, I want to know who you are. My father was someone who was very secretive. A lot of people never knew where he lived or, his education or anything like that. He was able to just call himself a pastor, and that was his gateway. That was the ticket. That was the key to really unlocking um, the access. To really just like opening everyone's doors and letting their guards down and weakening their defenses and everything. And I'm seeing that in this day and age, that's what the new life coach has become. The new life coach is the narcissistic pastor of old. Now they have gotten out of the confines of a traditional church and realize that they can amass large followings, get crazy amounts of resources, money, people doing things for them, services, and all of that stuff, by being on social media. So you have to be very, very careful on social media when you are looking for someone um, who you are giving access to. You have to be extremely careful. And so always opt for someone who is, or when you do, opt for someone who is very transparent, very open and honest, who has experience, has education, and is forthcoming with all of that information. Okay, so that's my little spiel on that. So let's see if I'm still getting the problems that I was getting before. Let's continue.
First sentence in the research paper say? Because I want to bring that up. What research paper? This is man must be disciplined.
Go back a little bit, y'all.
Immanuel Kant. or cunt. What'd he say? Man must be disciplined, for he is by nature raw and wild. Man must be disciplined, for he is by nature raw and wild. The same thing that I was telling you. Wait a minute. Immanuel Kant said that then?
Yeah,
What did the research paper say? But oh, hold on.
Man
What did the first sentence in the research paper say? Because I want to bring that up. We're looking at what Immanuel Kant said. Man must be disciplined, for he is by nature raw and wild. Okay. What it say? I'm on screen shoot it. Cause I want to put it big on the screen for y'all to see.
Let us see it soon.
I want it big. I want y'all to see it big. Just like I showed that to you, I want you to see it just like that. I want you to see it just like that. This is what the research papers say. You see this? Atavistic residues of aggressive behavior prevailing in animal life determined by testosterone remain attenuated in man and suppressed through familial and social inhibitions. However, it still manifests itself in various intensities and forms, from thoughts, anger, verbal aggressiveness, competition, dominance behavior to physical violence. Testosterone plays a significant role in the arousal of these behavioral manifestations in the brain centers involved in aggression and on the development of the muscular system that enables their realization. So, Immanuel Kant, back in the 1700s, between the 1700s and 1800s, says that man is raw and wild and he got to be disciplined. He has to be disciplined. What's that dude that was the white dude that just did the interview, and he was saying that boys are different and they need guardrails? What was his name? The male knows himself, but the woman don't, and the woman gonna sit up here and constantly go back and forth with males to tell them y'all can do it, and no they can't. You keep thinking that males are females and they not. What else did Immanuel say? What else did Immanuel say? Because see, this is the reason why they getting violent with you. This the reason why they getting violent with you, and you steady trying to romanticize, and you don't even realize how much danger you putting yourself in. What else he say? Without man and his potential, listen to me, his potential for moral progress. Baby, potential energy is not kinetic energy. A slither of hope. Without man and his potential for moral progress, the whole of reality would be a mere wilderness, a thing in vain and have no final purpose. When you take pussy away, the male by nature already don't have no moral compass, and he don't have no purpose. The only thing he looking for is punani. When you take that away, he sinks into the lowest natures of himself. But y'all think I'm just being extreme. No, I am being extreme for your dream, your fairy tale, because you want to believe that there's a fucking Prince Charming out there. You want to believe it's a 6'5" dude with $1 million that want to make that want to treat you like a princess so you can feel so much better than another woman. That's what you want. But the way I talk, I make you look at the reality, and I make you see that that shit is a fairy tale, and you putting your damn life in extreme motherfucking danger. Cause you wanna believe bullshit, right?
Yep.
Even men keep telling you this, but you don't wanna listen to them. You don't wanna listen to them. Why don't you wanna listen to them? Tell me why you don't wanna listen to them.
Why? Why we don't want to listen to them, y'all? We hear this even out of their own mouths. I want to know too. And we hold on this potential word. And like she said, we maintain this slither of hope. Even though when they tell us this is how we are, we simply don't listen.
I'm convinced that if a woman likes you, she's gonna willingly lie to herself. Yes, y'all do. You surely do. So let's go back. Now that I done showed you them two quotes, now that I have shown you those two quotes, listen to how he uses the Bible to put off the evil onto women when the evil is innate with man. Because the word gentleman was a term of etiquette to humanize a fucking beast, to humanize a wild animal.
Wow. What y'all think of that?
So
What y'all
the
think of that?
wild beast has used religious philosophy, which came out of the mind of a white male, and they painted God as man. So the male believes that his nature of violence is good. He believes that his nature of ruthlessness and violence and sexual undisciplined behavior is godly. Do you see how dangerous this shit is? Because God killed over 2 million people in the Bible. In the Bible, God killed over 2 million people in the Bible, and God is depicted as male. But the nature of a male without discipline is raw and wild. It's
Yeah, I remember like when I was really young, these these things about the Bible really like came to my attention, and I was conflicted. Like what? Like the things that was in there just didn't quite make sense to me. The violence, the sexual immorality, and all of that, just it just didn't sit right with me. But I was never, in that space where I could ask the question. It was like we were really shunned for asking questions about the the conflicts within the Bible. And I talk about that, in my book that's coming out on Wednesday, my birthday. Okay, August 9th. Look at God, won't He do it? Won't she do it? I gotta get out of saying, won't He do it? But anyway, so I talk about that in the Religious Narcissist Decoded, because I realized that a lot of the the way that I grew up thinking, basically being indoctrinated with the Bible. My father was a pastor, my mother was a co-pastor, that a lot of it just didn't sit well within my spirit. But I was never in an environment where I could really question the things that was conflicting me, the dissonance that I had between what I felt in my spirit to be right and righteous and pure, and what was being said in the Bible. It just wasn't consistent. Um, and when I when I went to college, it was actually when I got my second master's degree. You guys know I have two master's degrees. My first one is in public administration and business, and my second one is in clinical mental health counseling, which I was telling you about earlier. Um, but when I was working on my second master's degree in counseling, um, I had a paper, a research project that I had to do, and the teacher gave us a whole list of topics that we could choose. And one of the topics that was on there was talking about the stages of faith. And I was like, oh my God, like I was just so drawn to that, because it was like, um, it's something about it that just was like, I really got to dig into this. And so I did my research paper on the stages of faith. And that's when I realized that there are stages that we all go through. And we're going to do a video about this, a live about this. In fact, I still have all of my old papers and all of that stuff. So, when did I graduate? I graduated in 2016, was it? Was it 2016, y'all? Was it? I think so. Or 17. 16 or 17. Where's my degree at? I thought I had it up on the wall. But anyway, so 16 or 17, child. But anyway, so I still have my old papers, and we could definitely go through it, and I can, show you guys and talk about the stages of faith. But there is stages that you go through where you question your faith, and you try to figure out, okay, like what do I believe? There's what you grew up believing, what the culture is, what your family believes, and what your parents teach you, and all of that stuff. But um, there's a natural progression, and these things are supposed to happen at a certain age. But if you are in an environment similar to how I grew up, where my parents were pastors and they didn't really allow for us to really question what was in the Bible or question what we were being taught, and any type of conflicts that we had, then you may go through this. You may never go through some of the stages, or you may go through the stages later in life, like maybe when you break away from um, those influences that you had, and of course those influences may even impact how you present through those stages, like how you progress through those stages, and the conflicts that you may feel, or the ease you may feel, or what have you, as you go through the stages of faith. And if I'm not mistaken, it's like 6 stages um, that a person goes through. And um, and so one of the things that I just really gravitated to was that particular topic, and so I dug into it, and that's what really kind of freed me of a lot of the dissonance that I had with Christianity. And even though I continued to go to my parents' church um, and do all the things, went through all the pomp and stance and the whole thing, I still you know, had my own belief system that I subscribed to, even though I still remained in the church for, several years after I did that paper and discovered the whole stages of faith and all that stuff. Um, but anyway, let's continue. I just wanted to do a little bit of a segue so that we could, really talk about the religious narcissist, because I think that one of the things that you're going to see as we progress through this channel is that there are a lot of religious narcissists out there. And what we need to realize is that they are not just people who subscribe to Christianity or Islam or Judaism or whatever. These people are literally creating their own religions. Okay. So when we think about religion, we think about it as, in the terms of Christianity, the big religions that are most well known. But you have to realize that there are people who are developing their own religions, not necessarily calling it religions, right? Like I told you guys yesterday, this may be something that, you don't agree with me on, but I believe that this LGBTQIA plus movement is becoming a religion. I believe that the incel, the MGTOW, the Hotep stuff is a religion that people are subscribing to. And you have to think about religious narcissism on the terms of its most extreme and its lesser extreme, right? So on its most extreme, you have like the Jim Joneses, you have these cult leaders who are able to amass large groups of people, large followings, and get all of these people, like all of these people, to do a mass unaliving. Think about that. Think about the people that were actually following this religion, right? That was created by this one man. Think about their background. Think about their education level. Think about their financial status. These were not broke people. These were not people who were dumb. And so you can't go about thinking that you are somehow immune to the tactics of a religious narcissist. You have to realize that just like the Jim Jones followers, just like the Charles Manson followers, just like the Davidians with David Koresh and all of that, right? You are, or you could possibly be susceptible to this type of deception. And before you know it, right? Because a religious narcissist plays the long game. Before you know it, you could be totally wrapped up, isolated from everybody you love that could speak against these things, right? Wrapped up into and ensnared with them financially. They create this environment where you feel that you cannot speak out against it. And they create an environment where you feel like you are a part of it. And everybody has this desire, right, to be accepted. It's on the Maslow's hierarchy of needs. It's one of those needs, those basic needs. And when you find an organization, a religion like what we see that is coming up, and especially in these black male spaces, it really is not even black male. It's not even race specific, okay? Because I mean, we have the Klan that is, in my opinion, a religion. And we have to think about it on those terms, because when we don't think about it on those terms, we don't realize how dangerous it is. Even what we saw with dealing with Trump and his followers, that was a religion. Those people were devout, they were dedicated. They created a belief system that they followed. And that's all religion is. So we can't think of it in terms of Christianity and some of the big religions and start to get defensive. Because that's where we start going wrong, is we like, okay, we get defensive, like, okay, well, don't try to come up against a Christianity, you don't believe in God and all of this other stuff. Like, don't think of it like that. Because if we're being honest, people have done a lot of dirt, a lot of harm under the umbrella of Christianity. Like, let's just be real about that. That's how I grew up. And I mean, don't think for 1 minute that I'm some little small town preacher's kid, okay? Like, you guys know Dietrich Haddon, and that's my first cousin. Yes, Dietrich Haddon is my first cousin. His mother and my father, who is the narcissistic pastor that I talk about, they're brother and sister. So let's not, play this game like this is some small town girl who has a small town pastor of a father that doesn't have the capability of doing the exact thing that I'm telling you guys about. The only reason that my father was unable to be his best worst self, which is the cult leader that he really wanted to be, It's because of people like me who have discernment and who would not let it happen. Who said, you know what? I'm not doing this. I'm walking away, and the whole damn thing will come crumbling down because I will not support this mess. Which is what a lot of you will not do because you are so devoted to the to Christianity or whatever they want to call it, where you're not even using your discernment to know that they are using your beliefs, your spirituality, and your faith to manipulate, control, and deceive you. And this is not a attack on Christianity necessarily, but then again it is. It's a challenge for you to do the work. It's a challenge for you to go through your stages. It's a challenge for you to be critical thinking, to be analytical, to be open to the possibility that you were taught wrong. That's what this is. And if there is something in you that is so against going through the stages of faith, then you really need to question even more so what you have been taught. Because it's possible that you see the God that you serve as an intolerable, uh, narcissist that is these people that is actually pushing the religion. I'm a mother, right? I'm a mother. And so think about it in terms of a mother, a good one, okay? One who allows her children to go through their stages of development. One that teaches her children right from wrong, ethics, morality, righteousness, holiness, compassion, empathy, right? But allows them to go through those stages of development to where they determine that that is what is right for them. That even though I taught them this, that I taught them all of these principles, that they still have the free will to do or not do. They have the free will to mess up sometimes and determine that, yeah, I do want to be empathetic. Yes, I do want to be compassionate. Yes, I want to be understanding. Yes, I want to be loving. That this is who I am. This is the core of what I believe. Not because I was just indoctrinated with it, not because it was forced down my throat, but because I was taught it and then I was allowed to live it and to go through the stages of determining that that is what I want for myself. But what we are finding is that religion in its worst sense does not allow you to go through its phases. It doesn't allow you to go through its stages of determining if that's really what's right for you. Because you don't even feel comfortable questioning it. You don't even feel comfortable pulling away from the church and deciding, is that really what I want to do? You don't feel comfortable not paying your tithes and determining, is that really what I believe? Is that where I want to put my resources? You have to be critical thinking, not forced. And if your belief is hurting people, then I have to challenge your belief. And so should you. Well, let's continue.
It's violent. It's violent.
Let's go back just a little bit.
So the male has been conditioned to believe that the nature of a male without discipline is raw and wild. It's violent. It's violent. So the male has been conditioned to believe that his violent nature is righteousness. Do you see the problem? Do you see, or do you want to still live in motherfucking fantasy land? You still want to live in fantasy land? Huh?
The only thing we haven't tried is violence. And we know that will actually succeed. Historically speaking, it's always been the case. When you read the Bible, what does it tell you to do?
What does it tell you to do, sir?
I'm going to read something out of here.
Heart-wrenching is that other races of women are starting to emulate the behavior of Black American women. This can't be allowed to continue. If you care about making any kind of meaningful change, you got to consider killing this Black woman. And don't do it in such a way as to prevent you from taking action. Don't wait for everyone to agree with you. There are times when you just have to be the first to do something, even though you might risk being the only one to do it, which I guarantee you will not be the only one killing Black women, trust me. Those who've always done God's work, the Creator's work maybe.
Those who have always done God's work and the Creator's work. Now, I just showed you them two quotes, right? I showed you the quotes from the 1700s. Man must be disciplined, for he is by nature raw and wild. I just pulled up the fucking research paper on what testosterone does. It makes them violent. That's their nature. And now he is saying, he is tagging the male nature to the fucking Bible. And he wouldn't be wrong, because it's a patriarchal religion that was created to lie to the people, to promote and facilitate anti-nature. This is not a game, y'all.
It's not.
But y'all still walking out here with your fucking blinders on.
Those people have always been ostracized, never been the majority. They've always been the minority. They've always said the most unpopular things, even though those things were exactly what needed to be said. And in the end, they've always won. Are there going to be sacrifices and mortars and blah, blah, blah? Of course. Sure. But
You see how casually he's saying this about taking your life? Y'all see how casual he's speaking about taking your life? And other males are listening to this. Why is this important? Because women are a resource for males. And resources are being restricted because women are gaining their freedom. And males are no longer being given resources for nothing. And they don't know how to operate in a more natural environment. So the only thing that they know how to do is what? Regress into their nature because of the concept of demoralization. Demoralization is when philosophy has been removed and is no longer controlling humans to make them more humanistic. When you remove moral controls, you sink into your animalistic nature. And this is the animalistic nature that prevails in the wild.
We have to consider what our world would look like without rules and laws. and punishment. Because if we really walk around oblivious to that and the presence of males like this, who I'm telling you guys, they are on social media. How many people have heard this message? How many people are believing this message and has taken it on as their mission? And then how many people are stopped by the simple fact that, and it's not a simple fact, but by the fact that they just don't want to suffer the consequences of actually doing what he says. But in the absence of consequences, there is really nothing stopping them. And the consequences don't stop a lot of them. Look how many people are in jail right now. Look at the black femicide rate. Every 5.5 hours, there is a black woman and girl dying by the hands of a black male. That's the thing. And then you have males out here like this, with this, the truth, covering his face. Look at the indoctrination of it all. Look at the programming of it all. I mean, look how the clouds are with this swirl, this kind of like this whirlwind of like sucking you in. And then you have the sun, moon, whatever that is in the background that is like showing or trying to depict some type of beauty on a horizon. That is where you are trying to get to. That's where you should aspire to. And the way that you can get there is by doing what he says, by going through this mission. And even if you are one who is a martyr, as he says, or blah, 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 as he says, right? Then this is where you'll go because you have successfully completed the mission. You are on the path of truth, and you were maybe the first one, the pioneer. And this group of males are going to honor you as such for being the first, or being a pioneer in doing this, and being bold and going for the way of truth, of the truth. Just look at the programming of it all. You cannot tell me that these people are not a cult, are not a religious cult. And they are using your belief system, the religion that you subscribe to validate and justify inflicting violence on you. How do you even how do you even get to a place like in your mind where you can reconcile that? Where you can reconcile, like, okay, I'm reading the same Bible that this fool is reading. Okay, like, look, am I reading the same Bible this fool is reading? Yes, you are. Because if we're being honest, you can see where these crazy ass people are getting this from, right out of the same Bible that you read and subscribe to. How? How are you supposed to reconcile that in your mind? As a discerning, analytical, critical thinking individual, how do you make sense of it? Now, wonder so many of us are suffering from mental illness. Because we could all be reading the exact same text, and one person over here is reading it and thinking about killing me. And when I read it, I'm thinking, oh, this is giving me so much light. It's lighting my path. I'm thinking, you know, heaven on earth. I'm thinking, how can I create an environment where I'm not waiting to die to go to heaven to experience this um this heaven, these pearly gates and all of that stuff. Why can't I have the pearly gates right here? And so my mindset is, well, how can I create a space that is safe and equitable and thriving? How can I preserve and be more caring about my world and my environment and the atmosphere and the land and all of those things, right? How can you reconcile in your mind that we are reading the exact same Bible, yet when you read it, you want to kill me? And when I read it, I don't want to kill anything. I don't even want to eat animals anymore. I don't like, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm trying to be like loving and caring to all creatures. And I don't understand how we are not all asking these questions more at discerning, critical thinking, observing, experienced, intuitive individuals. How do we reconcile that in our minds? That this crazy dude on the screen that's got the truth covering his face, what is the messaging behind what he's saying that he has the truth? With this whirlwind of clouds and this beautiful oasis on the horizon, yet he's telling you to kill black women. How? How, y'all?
How many women need to be unalived by men every fucking day before you realize this is the truth? When you gonna stop lying to yourself? When the fuck are you gonna stop lying to yourself?
That's what I'm trying to figure out, sis.
But what side of history do you want to be on? Do you want to be on the side of history that empowered these hateful, evil black American women to do even more evil? Or do you want to be on the side of history that culled the herd of evildoers and brought order, sanity, and righteousness back to society?
He believes that the male's nature is righteousness. Where the fuck did he get that from?
Where?
He got it from the goddamn religious philosophy. That's where he got it from. They got it from religion.
I know what side of history I want to be on. Even if I died the same day I started cleansing the land, I know what side of history I would be on. I did something good that needed.
And see, in my mind, I'm like, okay, you want to start cleansing. Why don't you cleanse us of you? Okay, cleanse us of you.
to happen. Anyone that isn't going to kill a black woman is contributing to the destruction of our value system, of our society. They're contributing to the destruction of the next generation. When you refuse to kill black American women, you're saying yes to evil, yes to homosexuality and transgenderism being forced on children.
What?
Where did he get this from?
Where?
Right? Sodom and
Where did he
Gomorrah,
get this
right?
from?
That's in the Bible, right? That's in the Bible, right?
And how do you make the distinction? How do you know who is a black American woman? Is it if she's just in America and she presents as black? How do you even decipher all of this?
And God killed the people. And God was a fucking man, right?
Y'all, white women, y'all better stop getting tans. Y'all better stop. Y'all better stop. Y'all better stop getting tans, honey. Because listen, okay, listen. Because if y'all get a little too dark, they might confuse you for a Black American woman, child. You be on the chopping block like the rest of us, honey. Okay, y'all better stop. Y'all better stop getting tans. Okay, shoot.
So everybody's blaming the woman. Why is everybody blaming the woman? The average male is not the creator of patriarchal philosophy. He is a victim of it. But the male knows his nature. And he knows that the woman is the one with the power. He knows this biologically. So since he too dumb to be able to see that there is a controller above that created an artificial environment and stuck people in it with these old fucked up rules and all of these fairy taleism ideals, he too dumb to see that. So instead, he blames the only one he knows who has the power, which is the fucking woman. Not realizing that the woman too is a victim of this artificial environment called patriarchy, called capitalism. All of this shit came out of the mind of a white man. But who gets the blame as a victim of this shit? The black woman, because the male knows that the woman is the one with the power. So the people at the top get to fuck up and kill everybody with their hands being totally clean. We gonna let y'all kill each other because y'all too dumb to be able to see what the true problem is. The majority of people cannot see that this is anti-nature. They can't dig into the depths of what's causing the problem. So since males are biologically codependent, since they are that by nature, and they are violent by nature, and they have a lowered ability to control their behavior, and they don't have a purpose, which means that their personal identity is very fragile because they have no purpose and they gotta find it. When you put that person out front, you create what is called narcissistic personality disorder and entitlement.
Girl, you better.
You inflate
You
the
better
fragile
preach.
ego. And then when you give that fragile ego everything, the male works on a reward system. So he's believing that he's doing everything right. He's eating up the lies of patriarchy. And then out of nowhere, you pull the rug from under him. Out of nowhere, you pull the fucking rug from under him. And now he don't know why. So now instead of looking up, he looks at the woman who is beneath him in the artificial environment of patriarchy. So you exacerbate the biological nature, the core. At the core, every male is a Pookie and a Ray Ray. Every man is a Pookie and a Ray Ray by nature. And the only thing that distinguishes them is the uniform they fucking wear. Is
Drop the mic. Y'all know every time she says something that has to do with my book that's coming out next week on my birthday, August the 9th, 2023. I'll be 47. No, I won't. Lord, I'll be 43. I don't even know why I said that. It's because 4 and 3 equals 7. I got 7 in my mind. But anyways, so I wrote a book. I am in the final stages of editing it now. The Religious Narcissist Decoded, right? Which is a step-by-step guide to discerning the tactics and the impact of religious narcissism. Y'all, this is what we are seeing in real time. This is what we are seeing in real time. And that's just what she alluded to, what Princella, the Queen Maker, just alluded to. This is what we are seeing in real time. And I am of the belief that probably, right, 85 to 90% of Black males are religious narcissists. Yes. Yes, y'all. Yes. Yes. There was actually a white YouTuber that I came across that said 90% of pastors are narcissistic and abusive. And I was a bit shocked by his assertion. There is no real way, right, of us, or definitive way of us determining the actual number of religious narcissists that are out there, for several reasons that I highlight in the book. But what I am seeing in these streets, what I am seeing in my own life experience, is that the number of religious narcissists is extremely high. That it is the epidemic of our time. And that we will do ourselves some real good by getting smart about what we are dealing with in these religious narcissists that have literally taken over social media to spread these harmful messages. We cannot afford to not be smart about this. We cannot afford to go through the whole, well, not all. We can't. You have to assume the worst. You have to assume all until and unless it is proven otherwise. And when I say proven, no, I don't mean that, maybe you just give it a little bit of time, maybe he bought me a gift, maybe he did all the things, no, ma'am. Because I guarantee you that a lot of people who thought that they were in a healthy relationship are seeing this religious narcissist that has been dormant within their male counterpart for a while. That they just didn't have a name for it. They just didn't know what they were dealing with. And I promise you, I can promise you, I put money on it, okay? I put my book on it. That when you read the book, you will understand just how pervasive this is. Just how widespread this is. And though I tend to talk about Black men more because of my own upbringing, because I started this journey by talking about my father, who is a Black man, who is a Black pastor, who is a Black religious narcissist. Let's not be naive here in thinking that it started with the Black man. We still have the David Koresh's out there. We have the Jim Joneses out there. We have the Charles Mansons out there. So let's not pretend that this is a Black issue. It is not a race issue. This is spiritual. And if you do not see that we are in a spiritual warfare as we speak, then honey, I challenge you to to pray to whoever you pray to, and ask your creator for discernment in this time. And I'm not talking about discernment on a basic level of deciding if you're going to eat fruits or vegetables today, if you're going to carry your umbrella when you go outside today. No, I'm saying ask for spiritual discernment, discernment of spirits. You have got to rise to a higher level of understanding, a higher level of analysis, a higher level of critical thinking. Because your life depends on it. Do you hear what this male is saying? Do you hear what this male is saying? And then this dummy got in my comments talking about all y'all hoes going to hell. Hold on. Y'all hoes going to hell. Look. Y'all hoes going to hell. Well, that's not going to be any different than being right here on earth with you. I'll welcome hell if you're not there. You see what I'm saying? Do you see what I'm saying? Let's continue.
Is the image that they put on to cover up and quell the nature. Right? When y'all gonna stop telling lies to yourself?
You're saying yes to men being even more enslaved to women as well as the system.
The male thinks he's enslaved to women. Why does the male believe he's enslaved to women when this whole system was set up to cater to him?
I don't know, sis. I don't know.
Because by nature, the male needs a woman. And he don't like the fact that he needs her like he need air. And now that you have taken the resource that he needed and became extremely dependent on, now he's saying that the government enslaved him to her. The government gave him something that he was supposed to work for that he didn't. So now he's looking at it as slavery, when the true person that was slaved was the woman. They want their cake and they want to eat it too. But y'all still running around here acting like it's just a small number of males. Baby, it ain't a fucking small number. When you gonna stop trying to spare the male ego? Some, not all. The only fucking reason that you're saying that is because you're trying to go easy on the male who don't give a fuck about taking your life. You up here talking about some, not all, while they sitting up here talking about killing all of you. Some, not all. Wake the fuck up. All males are born with motherfucking testosterone, which is a chemical that affects their brain. They ain't like you at all. But you steady trying to believe that they fucking are. And you gonna find out. That's why they can't wait till all hell break loose where it ain't no laws, so they can fully operate in their lowest nature. And guess what happens when they operate that way? You, the one that they hate so much that they can't wait till the laws are relaxed to take out their revenge on you, But you still walking around here with your head in the clouds. No matter how much these males keep getting on microphones and keep telling you, we ain't like y'all. We ain't like y'all. Yo dumb ass who don't do no research will still deny. You can do it. Yes, you can. I don't know why. And then you wonder why you get your ass tore up. Because they keep telling you, you just ain't listening. You refuse to listen. All the research studies telling you the shit. They telling you. All the evidence around you with all these women getting unalived, all these kids getting unalived. That man stabbed that girl 100 times and then threw that baby and had an alligator eat that baby. But you still turning a blind eye with some, not all, because you refuse to accept the nature of a male. You don't want to accept them for being this, do you?
You're saying yes to further losses for our rights and freedoms. But back to what I was saying, I had to step away for a second.
Discernment. Where is your discernment, sis? Where is your discernment? Because how can you see, just like Princella is saying, how can you see all of this around you? How can you hear what he is saying and knowing that he has a super large following? People who are giving to him. I mean, look, he has his cash app right there up in the top of the screen. He gets plenty of money for his message. People are invested in his message. Your observations are telling you that Black women and women, really women, are dying at an extremely disturbingly high rate. And it's being justified by the very religion that you believe. You can have a gut feeling knowing good and well that this person doesn't sit right in your spirit, and you will still deny what you know to be true. That's the thing about discernment. The information is there. It's there. But you choose, for whatever reason, to ignore, to dismiss what you already know to be true. And you keep it from allowing you, or you let it stop you from making better decisions, from making wise judgments. And you saying you justify by the same Bible that they are using to justify killing you, you say, well, who am I to judge? I'm not supposed to judge. Well, no, maybe you're not the ultimate judge, but you are supposed to make judgments. You make judgments in every other area of your life. But when it comes to this, now all of a sudden, you can't make a judgment. You can't make a judgment call.
Extreme. Who being extreme? Who being extreme? Cause I ain't bringing you diseases. I'm not telling you to go out there and screw every Tom, Dick, and Harry and just go infect all black males. I ain't telling you to do that. I ain't telling you to unalive them. All I'm telling you to do is close your legs and focus on yourself and start loving yourself. But you need a reason why you need to do that. And the reason why is because men are incapable of love. Why they incapable of love? Because see, that's what you're looking for out of them, ain't it? And that's why you draining all your motherfucking energy. But if you knew they wasn't capable of love, would you waste your motherfucking time? If you knew they wasn't capable of love, would you waste your goddamn time? And would you put all that energy, all them resources that you throwing down the damn drain, would you then have enough sense to put it in your goddamn self? Then would you have enough sense to do that? You want to be the next one writing, talking about you married and this person did this to you? No matter what you do, they still talking about taking your life. Let me show you another quote let me show you another one that Immanuel Kant said. Remember, this 1700 now. This 1700, 1800, early 1800s.
Y'all all right? Y'all, look. Sisters, how y'all feel? Brothers, y'all all right? Okay, listen. This stuff is deep. This is really, really deep. And I understand, you know, in a lot of ways, especially for a lot of people that may be watching this on Facebook, um, that, this is a bit different. It's a bit different for you. Maybe some of the things and the way that she says things is a bit hard to digest. As she says that, some people have called her extreme. And I can see, I can see where people would get that from, if they, especially if you are sensitive to the language, if you are sensitive to the tone or the delivery. Um, but one thing that I was saying last night is that I grew up with a very dogmatic father. The way that was his approach to preaching, and so it doesn't. Um, I'm not sensitive to um, the way that Princella is delivering her message. And I'm not saying that she is dogmatic necessarily, but I can see where a person would, um, or how a person could be sensitive to her delivery if they are sensitive to that type of thing. Now, one thing about spiritual abuse that I talk about um, in my book, in my memoir, is that sometimes people perceive spiritual abuse differently because of just their overall worldview and perception of things, right? So, whereas some people will be very much drawn to her delivery, some people will be put off by it. But this is my challenge for you is to, like I said, again, use your discernment, right? Um, Listen to, if you are sensitive to the delivery, then listen to the message more so. And you have control, like you have control of yourself to be able to do that. You have control to be able to decipher between the delivery and the message itself. You do that in other ways, so you can do that here if you choose to. So listen to the message itself and determine if you find validity in the message. Okay? And I think that when you really, when you challenge yourself, I mean, think about the difference in just what we just saw, right? And the difference between what the male was saying, what his delivery, right? His tone. He didn't say any cuss words that I heard, right? Whereas Princella, she was a bit more, she was, she used creative language, okay? And she was a bit more turned up, for lack of a better phrase, okay, in her delivery. Now, when you put them side by side as they were on the screen just then, right? And you hear his tone, it's easier for you to accept because of his tone. But did you hear the message? And maybe you'll reject her message because of her tone. But did you hear the message? That's the question. Did you hear the message? And if you heard the message, then analyze it. Roll that over in your mind. Think about that. Think critically about what has been said. What was so harmful about anything that Princella said? By encouraging women to be safe, cut access, work on knowing what love is and how you can embody that and give that to yourself. Build a community of like minded women so that you all can be stronger together. Versus, okay, this dude that was a lot more calm and gentle in his message, but he said, you need to go and you need to kill all Black American women. Who did Princella say to kill? Nobody. Nobody. Nobody is supposed to die in this. But then you have this guy, and he's like, kill them all. You know? Think about that. Like, really think about that. Sit with that in your spirit. And then see if that makes sense to you. This has been a great evening, my loves, my dears. And I appreciate you all for tuning in, be it now during the live broadcast or when you will catch it later. It is now midnight 07 in Alabama Central Standard Time. We have been on for an hour and 38 minutes. And I have, thoroughly enjoyed it. We have made it to the hour and 47 mark in the video. And let's see. It looks like it'll probably go for like another hour before Princella starts to take calls from her listening audience. And, it's, we'll see, if we want to listen to the calls that come in. I think the calls really are interesting because you get to hear, the questions that people have for her, the comments, the experiences. And you'll hear a lot of people actually, they call in and they say, you have saved me. That you have validated what I have always known in my spirit to be right for me. And the only harm, right, quote unquote, that anyone experiences in that scenario is the males who no longer have access to women that they are mistreating, abusing, exploiting, controlling, and killing. And so that's why I just challenge you all to really, go on over there to her channel. It is the High Powered Podcast on YouTube. I follow her on YouTube. I haven't followed her on any other social media platforms, but it's my understanding that she's also on Facebook and has done some stuff on TikTok. I know that she's been talking about like getting back off of TikTok and all that stuff. So I think the best place to follow her is on YouTube, from what I've heard her say. So, go and follow her on YouTube. She does very long live broadcasts. And sometimes you got to take it in small chunks, kind of like how we've been doing, and taking it in small chunks and then stopping it, analyzing it, chewing on it, digesting it a little bit, seeing how we feel about it, making sense of it, asking the questions, and all that stuff. So, if that's how you have to do it, do it that way. Or you can come over here to my channel where we talk about, when we talk about some of her content in her videos, and we chew on it together. It's really up to you, but I definitely encourage you to go over there and subscribe to get her books, the Five Components of Love and the 41 Shades of Male. It's the game, 41 Shades of Male or Men, something like that. So, yeah, so it's been fun, and I really, I thank you guys for being on with me, and for my new subscribers. I am extremely grateful for you, helping me build this platform. The more you subscribe, the more you comment, even for the dummy that got in my comment section, y'all. I ain't worried about it. I ain't worried about that. Okay. Um, yeah. So I even appreciate you, because if you're over here, then maybe some of this divinity child will rub off on you. I hope so, honey, because listen, you giving lost cause, okay? You giving you giving you giving lost cause, okay, honey? So anyway, you guys know my book is coming out next week, August the 9th, on my birthday, where I will be turning 43. Um, The Religious Narcissist Decoded. You can find it on Amazon. Also, you can find it on my website, which is Kingdom Code Academy.com. Also, my memoir that's been out for a year and a half now. You can find it on Amazon, as well as my website, kingdomcodeacademy.com, honey. Okay? If you order from my website, then I will sign it for you, my dears. And I will send it to you with a personalized message. Okay, look at God wants you to do it. Okay. Okay, y'all. So I love you, and let me just sing you a little song on our way out. You are important to me. I need you to survive. I love you. Bye bye for now.